There was a period of time where I thought I was just so lost. I thought I had no purpose. I thought that I was just broken. And what I really understood and came to realize was I wasn't lacking purpose. I was just stressed. Because this is the thing that changed everything for me. And I'm going to share a story with you, and you'll find this really valuable if you're going to head down this path of success, whatever it is you want to do. Last year, I was in the middle of like deep content creation. I was doing this full time. I think I quit my job around April of 2024. And as I noticed, I just went all in, and I started to freak out because obviously quitting a job is like, for the first time, it's quite scary because you're fully reliant on your own ability to do things and earn an income. And so throughout this time, I literally got so desperate. I got so much help from other people, and I was just taking in so many people's advice. I was listening to everyone, and everyone was telling me just start a community, do this sales funnel, make sure you have this in place. And I was doing everything so neurotically that eventually my intuition became numb, and I didn't feel like myself anymore. And I paid the karmic price of this experience of basically going into debt, and eventually it got so bad, the stress got so bad that I developed chronic nerve pain. And this chronic nerve pain, it basically triggered on the right hand side of my body, and it felt like someone was stabbing me in like my shoulder blade on the right side constantly, and I didn't know what it was. And so throughout this time, quit my job, went all in on content creation. You might have even seen it if you're a long-time viewer. And so as I'm doing this, as I'm experiencing nerve pain, everything just went to shit because I went into debt trying to figure out what was wrong with my body. I didn't want to go back to a job. I didn't want to do any of these things. So eventually everything just shut down, and I thought I was genuinely broken. I thought I couldn't do anything anymore, and I was just so unreliable, couldn't hear anything. Basically, my body was just screaming at me. My body was screaming at me to stop, to slow down, and just to be here and don't do anything. And stop all of the things that that was stressing me out. Because here's the thing is, your body is the best compass that you have and ever will have. And this type of stress that I just described, because I thought I was fully broken, I thought I had no purpose, I was just like, my life basically went to complete shit, and it's the reason why I've been away from this for so long. This kind of stress, it doesn't hit you until your life is completely wrecked. I mean, for some people, it's like, it's the feather, the car, or the bus. Stress kind of builds in this way where it's either it tickles you like a feather and you feel a bit ungrounded, or it hits you and it's a car and it hurts, or it hits you with a bus and almost kills you. And for me, it felt like an airplane had hit me. It was that, it was that bad. But this stress, like I said, it's only something you notice until your life goes to complete shit and you're forced to do something about it. Because like me, I was always trying to think my way to some fix. I was always trying to think my way out of my situation, but you can't think your way out of a feeling. You can't think your way out of stress. It's just not possible, because this is what most people get wrong is they think that the routine, they think that the next business plan or the next thing will fix them. When in reality, it's just pulling them further into fatigue and further into stress, which is where purpose can't spawn, purpose can't come out of that place. If you're currently lost and you don't know where to go, then thinking will not get you there. Because I see men neurotically bouncing between ideas, relationships, and habits everywhere now. I don't even think it's a lack of discipline or laziness or even self-sabotage. I don't think it's any of these. I think it's the body trying to restore homeostasis. It's the body trying to come back home to itself, to feel safe in its own skin. Because if you're watching this and you're one of those people that constantly leave things unfinished, you constantly bounce from one thing to another, then it's not a flaw in your character that you developed over time. It's simply your body is trying to find a need, or it's trying to meet a need that isn't being met yet. It's a biological need for safety that just doesn't get met. And it's the same for any problem that we have in our lives. It's the same for porn, junk food, and video games. And it's normally always in line with your self-image. Because if you've been gaming, if you've been playing video games since you were 10, and you currently work a job that sucks the soul out of you, then earning gold in Skyrim is going to meet a biological need that isn't being met through the shitty job. And so you see how the body is always trying to get back to safety. This is the biggest thing I realized from going through arguably the worst year of my life last year. And the thing that actually clicked for me in regards to like purpose, in regards to actually getting progress in your life in some area and doing something you love, is purpose isn't some like mystical thing. It's not like some deep philosophical thing. Purpose is literally just having a body that has an abundance of cellular energy. That is literally it. Purpose isn't something that you even discover. It's literally from having enough energy to pursue your passions, to pursue the thing that you are pulled to do in that current moment. It's not some grandiose decision. It's not some thing that is just like a revelation. It feels like an intuitive pull towards the thing that you want to do. That's what purpose is. And I feel like in this day and age with all this social media, we get really confused because it's like we see all these people being so purposeful on their purpose that we forget that purpose is literally in the smallest moments of the day. It is literally just in the peaceful, quiet, stress-free moments of your day. And it always arrives in the present moment. Because when I feel calm and when my body feels like it has an abundance of energy, I don't think, I just do. And I know exactly what to do in every single moment of the day. There's not a moment of the day where I'm like contemplating what should I do. It's always just what's the next thing. And it doesn't feel stressful. It never feels like pressure. It always just feels calm and relaxed. It never feels like an urgent thing that makes me feel insecure and makes me want to doom scroll. Do you see the difference here? Because what I'm really referring to is actually your metabolism. When we think about the body, we think about the metabolism. And I'm not talking about like in the traditional fitness influencer calories in, calories out, calorie burning thing. Like, oh, I can't gain weight because my metabolism is fast. I'm not talking about that way. I'm talking about the cellular energy that your body creates, which is metabolic energy for you to actually know exactly what you want to do and to feel like you have the positive self-belief that you can go after what you want to do and you can actually do it. So metabolic energy is literally fuel for your brain. It's fuel for your mood and it's fuel for your hormones. So if we don't have enough metabolic energy, we won't have the mood to even be able to pursue what we want. Because when metabolic energy is weak and we're not producing enough cellular energy, we're not producing enough of it, then it's easy to fall into existential thoughts. It's easy to fall into thoughts that just don't serve us. And then we attach our self-identity to those thoughts, to those beliefs, and it gets ingrained into us. And so energy is everything. You've heard that before. Energy is literally the foundation for everything that you want. It's kind of why I believe that things like OCD and ADHD don't actually exist. They're not some character flaw like I mentioned before. It's not some like brain disorder. It's literally a lack of metabolic energy. But that is a rabbit hole that I will dive into another time. But what I'm trying to say is the longer that you pursue something that isn't actually meant for you, the longer you pursue something that you think you want, but you don't actually want at a core fundamental level, the more you pay the price in karmic stress. If you pursue something that gives you fulfillment in your family life, your relationship life, yourself, your connection to God, the more that you pursue that, the more peaceful it will feel. Because purpose and intuition are one and the same. Intuition feels like a steady pull, kind of like a internal version of a good friend that gives you really good advice. It just feels supportive and peaceful. And you'll know you're in the right place when it doesn't feel like you need to overstretch yourself and to do something you don't want to do. You know you're in the right place when your mind and your body feel quiet, not hyperactive, like not some revealing revelation thing, just when it feels peaceful. And so to end this video off, I want to invite you to pause for a moment. Just pause here for a moment. What's one small thing that you can do today that eases that internal pressure? Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.